It's time to follow the blues to Ranchi. भाई नजर होगी चौथे टेस्ट की तरफ जहां टीम इंडिया यही उम्मीद रखेगी कि इस सीरीज को रफा दफा कर दे. They're leading 2-1 after that epic Rajkot test win and in Ranchi जिस टेस्ट मैच की शुरुआत होगी फ्राइडे को where Mohammad Siraj could very well be part of that team that would lead the pace attack क्योंकि Jasprit Bumrah was a notable absentee as the team arrived in Ranchi. Welcome once again. Good evening to you all. Follow the Blues का समय आ चुका है. अच्छे खासे दिन है for Indian cricket because the team is leading in the Test series against England. There's a lot being said about these two teams and we'll cover all of it as we do with our insider Rohan Deshmukh and George Benoy, who looks so comfortable today. It's like India's growing comfort in this series is being felt by us on Follow the Blues. ये आपने arrange किया हमारे लिए?
Yeah, I just thought it's better. Yeah, we'll just relax.
Yeah.
थोड़ा relax होके
touch the ground, so it's
Yeah, that is also there. You still somehow you don't seem comfortable on a couch. You're the only one who doesn't. But in all seriousness, how comfortable would India be knowing that now that we know कि जसप्रीत बुमराह नहीं पहुंचे हैं रांची? What's the latest that you've got? Is it more or less confirmed that we may not see Bumrah in this test match?
Yeah, it does look like. बिल्कुल ऐसे ही लग रहा है कि बुमराह जो है ये मैच नहीं खेलेंगे, पहुंचे नहीं हैं. हालांकि राजकोट टेस्ट मैच के पहले भी 2 दिन वो वहाँ पर नहीं थे. जस्ट नाइट बिफोर ही केम टू राजकोट, बट जस्ट डज लुक लाइक कि ये टेस्ट मैच जो है बुमराह शायद नहीं खेलेंगे. एंड इट्स अ पॉसिबिलिटी दैट यू विल गेट समवन लाइक मुकेश कम बैक बिकॉज इट्स जस्ट सिराज हु इज द लीडिंग पेसर एंड आकाशदीप भी है लेकिन डेब्यू नहीं किया उन्होंने. एंड केएल की तस्वीरें भी देखी पता है हमने एयरपोर्ट पे, मुंबई एयरपोर्ट पे देखे. तो
कौन से एयरपोर्ट?
मुंबई एयरपोर्ट.
अच्छा, मुंबई
दैट वाज इंपॉर्टेंट. मुंबई एयरपोर्ट पे देखी थी. सो लेट्स सी केएल में आल्सो जॉइन.
फ्लाइट तो होगी मुंबई टू रांची सून इनफ बट यू नो इफ आई एम बुमराह आई एम टॉर्न क्योंकि एक तरफ आपको पता है कि आपको रेस्ट देना ही है क्योंकि आप बहुत अहम खिलाड़ी है आपकी टीम के लिए, आपके आईपीएल टीम के लिए. लेकिन दूसरी तरफ इतनी बड़ी सीरीज में 17 विकेट के साथ सबसे आगे विकेट टेकर्स की लिस्ट में अच्छा खासा मौका है to end the series with possibly 25-30 wickets, be a player of the series in test match cricket. Who knows what Jasprit Bumrah's test cricket ambitions and aspirations are, but it's a tough one. No batter who's in trying to become a leading run scorer, George, would say I want a rest, but you feel for Bumrah. You can understand it both ways.
Well, he probably felt he needed a rest as well, and let's remember that Bumrah's played only I think 7 tests at home. So India played a lot of test matches at home without Bumrah and done really well. So, it's quite necessary. If he feels it's necessary for him to take this break, then by all means he should. And it's an opportunity for Siraj to lead the attack and then maybe for Mukesh to get another opportunity. But I'm a little interested in seeing that second pacer. They released Mukesh and kept Akashdeep in the squad. So if Mukesh comes back, does he slot back straight into
But they also released him understanding what is clearly a new world order. डोमेस्टिक क्रिकेट इज इम्पोर्टेंट. जाके गए बंगाल के इसलिए खेलने 6 विकेट निकाले तो मतलब दिस इज नाउ द मोर इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग. द इम्पोर्टेंट प्लेयर हैज टू बी रिलीज्ड.
No,
the less important player is
also to ensure that Mukesh is in the rhythm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Instead of sitting on the sidelines on the warming the benches, it's better that he goes and he has a game. अच्छे विकेट भी निकाले उन्होंने. So he is someone who will be in the rhythm if he has to come and bowl.
Correct. And what would be vindicating this process that's been put in place, and you can't help but think the chairman of selectors has a pretty strong imprint on this. This of course is just objective analysis.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure. But if you think of it, you released a bowler to go play for Bengal, he got 6 wickets. Now you've called him back when you're resting someone else and you play. It shows the players that you're telling कि जाके खेलो domestic cricket, that this is how we value it. You get wickets, Ranji Trophy is important, you will get to be part of this. So that is one way of looking at it if Mukesh indeed plays. So we'll find out. However, there's a chance perhaps maybe Rajat Patidar could be in the same conversation. वो जाके खेलेंगे MP के लिए knockouts में. KL Rahul की शायद वापसी होगी. In a serious note, you said you saw him at the Mumbai airport. We expect him to be fit?
Yeah, it's expected. After the press conference in Rajkot, I think Rohit Sharma sort of let the cat out of the bag. उन्होंने कहा कि KL Rahul seems okay. So he should be okay for Ranchi test matches. So we can expect him to come back. And so 3 kind of a questions for India. Bumrah को replace कौन करेंगे and basically KL comes in, so possibly Patidar goes out. That's one more thing. Bowling combination could be another one. on how the wicket is like, considering that इतने रन जो इंडियन बैट्समैन ने बनाए हैं और खास करके जैसे तारीफों का पूल बांध दिया है बेन डकेट टाइप्स इंग्लैंड ओपनर्स ने, यू नो
का पुल
द वे दे सेड कि शायद जो है यशस्वी जायसवाल जो है बेन डकेट से या फिर इंग्लैंड के बैज़बॉल के तरीके से जो है बैटिंग सीखी.
Okay, we are going to come to all of that. KL Rahul, Rohit Singh, he was okay.
Should be okay.
Should be okay. Okay is a very unique
Yeah,
one. When I
should be
first
okay.
wrote something and I asked you to check it, you said it's okay. I couldn't tell what that reaction is. But Rahul for Patidar, straight up.
Yes, if Rahul is fit, then that's straight up unfortunate for Patidar. But I think they will keep Patidar in the squad up until Rahul actually pulls up fit
Yeah, that's true.
on the
Good
morning
point.
of the match. So because they need a reserve batter in the squad.
Okay, well, as far as the standout batters go, they would be so much more confident right now. अगर ये दूसरे और तीसरे टेस्ट के बीच में बात हो रही होती, हम कहते कि भाई एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है, राहुल आउट हो चुके हैं, व्हाट कैन वी एक्सपेक्ट? वेल, वी कैन एक्सपेक्ट द यंग इंडियन प्लेयर्स टू शाइन. यशस्वी जायसवाल 545 रन के साथ है आगे. He's nearly twice as many as number 2 Ben Duckett, and he has Ben Duckett to thank as per Ben Duckett. क्योंकि Duckett की, I mean, I don't want to unnecessarily take a dig at a player who's playing so well. लेकिन विवाद तो बड़ा बना ही है, जिस तरह के कमेंट्स इंग्लैंड के सलामी बल्लेबाज ने किए हैं मीडिया में. जब हम सामने वाली टीम के खिलाड़ी को ऐसे खेलते देखते हैं, कहते हैं डकेट साहब, तो इसका क्रेडिट हमें भी मिलना चाहिए. ये सही है भाई. बेन डकेट मस्ट हैव मेंट वेल, पर ये और सुन लो, क्योंकि सामने वाली टीम भी हमें देखकर टेस्ट क्रिकेट अलग तरीके से खेल रही है. काफ़ी कुछ कहा है इसके बारे में लोगों ने, फैंस ने, सामने वाली टीम ने. लेकिन चलिए इंग्लैंड की तरफ से ही सुनते हैं. द मोस्ट क्रेडिबल वॉइस इन इंग्लिश क्रिकेट इन माय ओपिनियन इज द ग्रेट नासिर हुसैन, और उन्होंने अपनी टिप्पणी दी है.
You know, I picked up on Ben Duckett, who came to the press conference on the third day and said something like, the more the better. They can have as many as they want and we'll go and get them. And do you think that they actually believe that, or is that just, you know, they just don't want any negativity in anything they say, and therefore it's about the messaging, and therefore we should just take it all with a pinch of salt?
Neither really, and I don't mean that. A bit of both, in as much as I think it's completely about messaging. I think if you're in and around that camp with McCullum and Stokes and Key, and the whole setup is a positive messaging. Don't doubt yourself. If in doubt, take the positive approach. Everything, even when someone gets out for a naught, I think McCullum will turn to him in the corner of the dressing room and go, I like that shot today, go out and do it better tomorrow. So I think when you're living in an environment, in a bubble that has got so much good messaging and positive vibes and positive messaging, I think you then go into a press conference and you're never going to step back and go, oh well, you know, they may have got too many and we're just going to play for a draw. It's a lot better than some of the old cliches that used to come up, you know, we're hitting them well in the nets and, you know, that sort of stuff. So I enjoy their positivity, but there has to be a little bit of realism in there as well. So the second part of your comment there is, should we just let them off? I don't think you should just let them off. They're obviously chasing 600 in India, batting last, is not a particularly good option to look at.
Well, you prefer to chase 200 than 600, put it that way.
Yeah, that's some deep cricketing knowledge there. So the comment on Jaiswal, you know, he's learned from us. Again, I'm going to touch on that. He's not learnt from you. He's learnt from, as I say, his upbringing and all the hard yards he had to put in growing up, and he's learnt from IPL. If anything, lads, have a look at him and learn from him. So whatever they're saying in public and in that dressing room, I hope they're going back to their room and just a little bit of a self-introspection, going, yeah, I can look at that lad and learn from him. I can improve. It's not, otherwise it does become a cult, doesn't it? At times, Bazball and this regime have been described as a cult where you cannot criticise either within or externally. This is the way we play.
I liked it because you can see जब जीतते हैं तो किस तरह का माहौल बनता है, जब हारते हैं तभी लगता है कि जीते ही है. और जायसवाल के बारे में, this is a very unique story. This should be about the story of Jaiswal, and it's quite well articulated because I think Jaiswal himself has really grown in giving voice to his story. I don't think he would have changed the way he's played looking at how England's test cricket has been in the last 12 to 18 months. So it's well put in perspective by Nasser?
Absolutely, and Duckett seems to have forgotten that Hayden and Langer and the Australians played in this way for a long time before this English team came along. Going back to Jaiswal, at the end of that match, it was instructive where he said he's had to struggle for everything. Like in
yes,
India,
absolutely.
to get on a train, to get on a bus, there's a struggle. So every innings means something for him now, and what Nasser is saying that the England batters could learn from Jaiswal, absolutely, because Jaiswal has a defensive game.
Yes.
He can defend and defend and defend against Anderson.
Yes.
He did.
Yes.
And England batters don't have that defensive game, which is why they are taking Bazball to the extent that they have, because for them the only way to succeed is to play this way, because they cannot defend and win a test match in India batting for the vast amount of overs that Jaiswal can.
एक तरफ से लग रहा है कि बैलेंस बिखरा हुआ है. Here India is just playing normal test cricket जो इतने सालों से हम देखते हैं. Defend when you need to, attack when the situation says so. With England that balance seems to have gone. So I found the comments to be a little over the top.
I think कहीं ना कहीं हमें भी when we are watching Indian Test cricket in India, हमें ये आदत नहीं रही देखने के लिए कि इंडियन ओपनिंग बैट्समैन अग्रेसिवली बैटिंग कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि उस तरह के विकेट्स मिले नहीं थे हमें. The kind of batting which has happened in the last few years.
That's a very good point.
If you remember, even the greats have suffered.
Double hundreds.
You couldn't. It was difficult to score 100. Yes. I remember one of the knocks which were played against in the Australia series. It was said अगर ये अच्छे विकेट पे होता तो शायद 200 के आसपास वो रन बनते बल्लेबाज के. So we are not used to seeing this kind of innings from Indian batsmen also for a long time. पिछली बार मैंने बात भी की थी कि वीरेंद्र सहवाग को देखा था इस तरह की ओपनिंग करते हुए.
बिल्कुल.
उसके बाद जो है अब यशस्वी जायसवाल जैसा ओपनर हमें मिला है. So fast track, good batting wickets, possibly a strategy also from Indian team that इंग्लैंड के पास इतने अच्छे स्पिनर्स नहीं हैं. उनके पेसर्स बड़े अच्छे हैं, वुड एंड एंडरसन. लेट्स गिव देम सम ट्रैक्स. Let's have some tracks which doesn't have anything for the pacers but also for the spinners. मेहनत करनी पड़े जहाँ पर Indian spinners जो है वो विकेट निकाले. So could be a good strategy also.
I mean, I think it's clearly shown the quality of India's bowling ahead of England's, which is not something we've spoken of as much. इसके बारे में बात करेंगे, लेकिन रोहन ने एक अच्छी मिसाल दी वीरेंद्र सहवाग के बारे में, जॉर्ज ने एक अच्छी मिसाल दी मैथ्यू हेडन के बारे में. भाई ये आक्रमणी बल्लेबाज है which was predating Bazball and a lot of other things, but we managed to get one of those Bazball players, Matthew Hayden. I'm sure he also credits the English team. हमने उनसे बात की और यशस्वी जायसवाल की सफलता के बारे में क्या वजह हो सकती है उनके बारे में कुछ कहने को कहा. सुन लीजिए.
Jazball now an international player, and not only an international player, but an international player in Test match cricket that's got a double 100. And there's not too many. Like I'm thinking of someone like Mark Waugh, for example. Back in the day, he hasn't scored a Test match 200. So it's a very unique and exclusive club. And what that really suggests to me really is just how he has now taken the mantle of what his destiny is going to be, and that is a superstar for Indian cricket.
I mean, you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but this is something that you can see as a promising generational talent. When you have records like this, जो accidentally टूट जाते हैं और जो level हो जाते हैं. 12 sixes is the most ever in a test innings. It didn't look like he was eyeing it. It's just happened. His 300 so far, 170 and 2 double hundreds. This is special. We're witnessing a special player possibly, aren't we?
Yeah, and it's rare now to find a batter who seems to be good in all formats.
Yes, absolutely.
Jaiswal has the raw material to succeed in all formats. Long way to go for him.
और उनको पता भी नहीं था. He was not aware that
of that
record
record.
of
Yeah,
that record of 12 6, and the fact that he has been playing well in the IPL, like George said ना, कि काफ़ी मेहनत की है और जिस तरह से मुंबई से आगे आए, मैदानों से आगे आए हैं वो, there is a lot of effort and usually a lot of credit that must be given to him rather than Duckett coming and saying
the long way point is an important one also, because we get so carried away in Indian cricket. There are players that have come in with hundreds, double hundreds, and suddenly now he's going to have to adapt within a couple of weeks and play an IPL, then play possibly a World Cup, then perhaps come back and play Test cricket, ODI cricket. We talk about three formats. We haven't seen Jaiswal get a long run in ODI cricket, which has its own gears. So Rohit Sharma ने वही कहा, I think, कि let these boys play. Easier said than done in India though.
Yeah, absolutely. Jaiswal will have to find his own coping mechanisms to stay away from the hype, or take the hype in the right way, because there will be hype. He keeps batting like this, he keeps scoring, that he will get the attention, the adulation, it's about it's down to him to manage it and the people around him to develop as he goes along. Test series in Australia later this year as well.
As
So,
well, sir.
yeah,
Yeah,
huge challenge.
traveling all over the world as well. All right, this is where we leave it. I think we'll wait more updates from Ranchi, which Rohan is going to have covered for us tomorrow. George, thank you very much. And thank you as well. The conversations around Indian cricket, well, you can have them every day, and we hope you join us for it tomorrow as well. Kal sham ko fir hogi mulaqat 5 baje. Join us and follow us on our social handles for the very latest from the Indian team at Star Sports India. And we will see you for FTB Live tomorrow again. Bye-bye. It's time to follow the blues to Ranchi. भाई नजर होगी चौथे टेस्ट की तरफ जहां टीम इंडिया यही उम्मीद रखेगी कि
ये मैच नहीं खेलेंगे, पहुंचे नहीं हैं। हालांकि राजकोट टेस्ट मैच के पहले
जाके खेलो domestic cricket. That this is how we value it. You get wickets. Ranji Trophy is important. You will get to be part of this. So that is one way of looking at it. If Mukesh indeed plays, so we'll find out. However, there's a chance perhaps maybe Rajat Patidar could be in the same conversation. वो जाके खेलेंगे MP के लिए knockouts में. KL Rahul की शायद वापसी होगी in a serious